made contact and shattered.
At some point, Chris locates what's called a dry bag.
Law enforcement had considered Laundrie the only person of interest in the murder of his fiancée, Gabby Petito.
Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
Turn it over to another agency. Let's get some help.
Hello? John.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here for another ATS News live stream. We are going to be talking about the Kielyrodni death investigation, and I didn't plan on making any statements until law enforcement has made their statement on November 1st, but there is new video of a wildfire camera that we're going to look at, and everyone else has been looking at and breaking down as well. So I'm sure you guys have seen it. I just figured I would look at it with you guys and then give you my take on everything. And good morning to everybody in chat. Joseph Lloyd, Tassie, Karen, Nadia, Florida Bass Fishing. It's good to see you. Good morning, Candy Smith. Good to see you. So let me just share my screen. We're going to go through Gray Hughes' video. I'm going to mute his video, but we're going to just take a look at it together and just give me your feedback in chat right now. So, oh, no problem, Karen. I'm just glad you're here. And good morning, Brittany and Jamie. Good to see you guys. So, like I said, I'm just going to share Gray Hughes' footage that he did, and then I've also edited my own. And when I mean edited, I mean just cropped, zoomed in, try to enhance it the most I can in iMovie. And yeah, we'll just talk about it, guys. So first things first, I do want to say that this doesn't, in my opinion, mean that this was an accident. And I'm curious what you guys are thinking in chat. Good morning, Honeybee and April, Shelly, Petunia. It's good to see you. Hi, Connie. So just let me know. Honeybee saying, I don't think she went into the water. I have some stuff that I want to share with you guys that I don't know if anyone has kind of like shown or maybe linked together, but after I show the footage, there's just something that I just want to share that might have something to do with it or might have absolutely nothing to do with it. It's just interesting nonetheless, and it could actually be relevant or explain at least some of the lights we're seeing maybe. Anyways, let me share my screen. Yeah, a lot of people are still thinking that, Brittany, she said, I still think it's foul play. Yeah, it absolutely does not narrow down the possibility of foul play, in my opinion. So once again, this is all credit for Gray Hughes. He's done this video overlay, and we're just going to look at it and talk about it. For those in chat, and if you're watching on replay, let me know in the comment section. For those in chat right now, who is thinking still that it's foul play? And, you know, press 1 for foul play, press 2 for accident. I'm curious where we're at as we're watching this. I'm seeing a lot of 1s for foul play still. Karen has said 2 for an accident. It's hard to argue for either side right now, honestly, after this footage. It's kind of like, okay. But I think once I share some of the connections that I've made, it might, I don't know, it might even muddy the waters even more because it's going to raise some doubt, in my opinion. It did for me, at least. It confirms B Legend said it confirms an exact time the vehicle entered the water, doesn't rule out foul play. Exactly. And when I share with you what I found, I mean, it sort of makes me wonder, what exactly are we looking at? Like, once I show you, Alyssa, that's pretty much with what I'm going to be sharing and going with, a prank possibly gone wrong. Caroline says, depends what you mean by foul play. I'm thinking even if it was a prank gone wrong, and people witnessed it and they didn't call 911 or they didn't, help or whatever, I'm still thinking that there is some accountability to be had by others, possibly, if this is her car driving into the lake. Again, we can't see the driver. Like, I don't mean to be sarcastic, or I'm just playing devil's advocate, because let's be honest, we can't see the driver here. Like, how do we can't even see the car here. So how are we going to be so certain? And I'm not throwing shade at anyone, but with the titles, Kiely's car, like, honestly, we don't know like what we're looking at in a way. Obviously it appears like we think we know, but at the same time, if we're going to get technical, how would we know exactly whose car, who's driving, etc.? And the reason why I asked that is because of something I'm going to share with you after we go through the footage that kind of raises some doubt. But yeah, the phone pinging there obviously points to it being her, it being her car. The thing I just cannot get past is, like, so how did law enforcement miss her? She pinged there last. That should have been obviously everyone's first go-to, which according to them it was. Like, they claimed that they went there and they searched it all. So I'm just very confused. Blue's Clues said it, don't debunk it because people was in that area in play frame by frame, in my opinion. How did law enforcement not find her car? Exactly. And yeah, for those who don't know, or, okay, Karen, enjoy your day. We'll talk soon. For those who don't know, this is a wildfire camera that is thousands of feet away, but has somewhat of an aerial view of Prosser Lake on this night. The camera moves depending on where the fires are being picked up on. So that's why, you'll go to this camera site and it might be facing a different way on other days. But yeah, so Florida Bass was asking what he's looking at. Just watch that white light, that white circle. It enters the water. It appears to enter the water, and then the light goes out. I'm drinking coffee, guys. Good morning, everyone who is joining us. Yeah, they had access to this from day one, the camera. Exactly. Why wouldn't they have taken this footage down from public view? Do people think that they have this footage? Like, press 1 in chat if you think law enforcement has seen this footage, they're aware of it before the public stumbled on it. Press 2 if you think that they're just oblivious, just like they were oblivious to finding her car there. I'm just curious where your guys' heads are at. The car goes in there really slow. It's so hard for me to tell, like, I mean, let's face it, the depth perception, I'm seeing 1s and 2s. The depth perception, like when I'm looking at other people are saying there was other cars there and they saw what happened. Like, I can't confidently say that, because the depth perception is just, it's hard to tell and differentiate with this camera. Do you know what I mean? And thank you so much, Brookie, for the super sticker. I really appreciate appreciate it. And if you guys want to just show support any way you can, just hit the thumbs up button. It's just a free way to support the channel, but super chats are obviously appreciated. So thank you so much. And anyone who wants to join the membership, it's linked in the description box as well. So I'm seeing lots of 2s, but I'm also seeing 1s. So people are sort of torn on whether they think law enforcement has this and are aware. The thing is, if they had this, how did they miss her? It makes absolutely no sense. So that's why I'm like, I have something to share with you guys after this footage, because I'm like, maybe this explains why they didn't find her. I don't know. Stay tuned, because got something to show you guys. The headlight plays a lot because they are made to pick up fires, so it overexposes small pricks of light. Interesting. That's good to know. That's good. I'm assuming that that's maybe why the camera was facing in that direction. They picked up activity like heat or something. I'm just guessing, obviously. I don't exactly know how these cameras work. But somebody was concerned about some light that was there like the entire time, and I wondered, good morning, Nicole. I wondered if it was like that generator, that light or whatever that they had talked about being around at times. I don't know. Again, I'm just speculating. Been watching this footage over and over. So here we are. I'm so happy to watch it with you guys, but it's just, and there we go. Florida bass fishing. If you're watching this, a white light, I mean, it's just fading and then gone. So it's crazy. I didn't give this much thought when I first seen it, but it does appear to be something, guys. The camera was 20 miles away from what we are looking at. Lights and reflections and distance equals there is no way to definitely know what is going on in this video. And I agree there. Much like other CCTV footage videos in other cases, sometimes. Okay, hold on. I think that was the end of Gray's video. Yes. Let me share my screen to the one that I made for you guys to look at. So this is just a screen recording of somebody else kind of using their cursor on it. I was watching this on Allegedly with Brittany J for the first time, so I kind of screen recorded it and then took it into iMovie. I enhanced the visual, not like Gray Hughes did, obviously, but that's why we started to look at his. But I did zoom in. The cursor will point at important things to kind of focus on. But what was I saying? Good morning, John. It's good to see you. The reason why we're not concerned with picking up her belongings, they knew it was an accident. Or they're just going to pass it off as that. Like, oh, here it is. Look at this. So it is what it is, folks. She drove right in it. And like somebody said prior, we honestly, this footage, sadly, is inconclusive in a way of like, once I share with you guys the reasonable doubt that I have that this could even be Kiely's car, like, yes, her car was found there. Yes, her phone pinged there. But like I said, we can't see the driver from this camera. We cannot see even, what kind of car that is. I hate to be the person to kind of go against this whole, it was Kiely's car, but if we're going to critically think, I mean, I cannot be 100% positive that it is. We've seen that these teens do all types of pranks on their TikToks and social medias, and I'll be sharing some of those after this footage. But I just feel like it could be, like they're doing the donuts and stuff people have speculated on. Some person told me that they think that the car actually doesn't fade out in the water, that it actually turns around. I don't know. To me, I just am like, so here's the thing. Here's the thing that is really blowing my mind. So then the roadside assistant guy, Nick, made a false identification. Not only that, but then AWP puts all this like, oh yeah, you only saw 10%. I have 90% more of this video. And I'm not bashing AWP. I'm just saying, like, if we're going to say that this is what it is and that's Kiely's car, where is all this other hype coming from as far as the Boca sightings and all that? It's questionable in my mind to just write off everything that AWP and roadside assistant Nick is saying. But if we're going to talk true crime facts, eyewitnesses are one of the least reliable accounts that you can kind of rely on in a case. So I'm not faulting Nick, roadside assistant guy, or the AWP. I'm just saying, like, these are things we're going to have to kind of consider. Just like when AWP came out with roadside assistant guy's story, we all had to kind of like, okay, I guess we could consider this as a possibility. Well, now the opposite's happening. We have another thing that's come out that's kind of going against what AWP is saying. And, we have to kind of look at it with a fair angle. So that's what we're doing today. And good morning, CDT. It's good to see you. I started a little late, so you're kind of on time in a way. You're not as late as you normally are, so we'll let it slide. So I'm looking at chat. Candy said, I don't think roadside assistance guy lied. He said specific info about the car. Okay, hold on. Hold on, guys. StreamYard working too fast for me. Okay. Now, this is my moderator. She has a channel. It's called Kiely Searches Equals Answers. She does a lot of the Watts case, but she picks up other cases as well. I'm pausing it here. She sent this to me, I don't know, weeks ago, guys. And it was when everyone was looking into the Cody guy. Press 1 in chat if you know who this Cody guy is, who I'm referring to. He was rumored to be Sammy's ride home. See the clipboard there that Sammy's got? His name is on the clipboard. So he's just sort of been around in the case. And one of my moderators was digging into him a while ago, and she sent me this image, and it's from Cody's TikTok. And it's obviously a SUV driving through water. So, it just raises a little bit of questions here. And by the way, this is a screenshot that she sent me of like his truck. So I didn't go to Cody's TikTok. That's just a screenshot she sent me. But you guys are more than welcome to dig into it yourself. Apparently, he is associated with the kids there in Truckee. I don't know much details like into him, but you guys know that he's in this story some way, some shape or form, even if it's just written on Sammy's clipboard there. So she sent it to me a few weeks ago, and I said, are all these videos Cody's? And she said she wasn't 100% sure that all of them were, but this one was. And she said, just noticing he has no fear, smashing into the water and through the water. What if Kiely was in the back sleeping, passed out, and he was joyriding her car because he thought she left it there and smashed it into the water? Just another thought. And so we're just kind of going back and forth in our messages. And I'm like, wow. Or, maybe it was part of some like senior prank. She had to ride in the back, or she had to ride with him or something. You know what I mean? It just seems like these kids are kind of used to doing these little pranks. So when we see the headlights go in the water and we see like all this activity there, I mean, I can't help but kind of wonder, are we looking at Kiely's car? Or are we looking at some sort of little prank playing thing? Like, yeah, hazing, Candy, for sure. Something like that, where it appears that they're driving into the water, but really they're doing some sort of donuts, off-roading, who knows? All I know is this is also allegedly Cody's, And, I said something to my moderator who shared this with me. I said, notice that all the windows are down. So I'm not sure exactly what this red, it looks like maybe an older Jeep. Can't really tell. But, it's in the water. It's got the windows down. They seem to be doing these types of pranks and fun off-roading features. But I just feel like it's leading me to kind of question the footage of the wildfire camera, because I'm like, what if they were just doing these little pranky things, like it doesn't necessarily mean that car sunk. Like, I know it appears that way, but it's thousands of feet away. We can't see exactly what's going on. Like, if I have to look at this from a critical aspect, like, we just don't know exactly what we're looking at. Okay, yeah, so this is the other thing I kind of want to play for you guys. Give me a like. Yes, thank you so much, CDT. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. It definitely could be a Blazer for sure. It does look like an older Blazer. I like the older Blazers better than the new ones. But yeah, so this is not Cody's TikTok, but this is somebody who is associated with Cody. So again, this is just kind of like connecting these kids kind of together and the type of activity that they like to do and that they do. Again, that wasn't Cody, but those are, once you fall down a rabbit hole of this person on this social media, then you look at their friends and blah, blah, blah. So that's where these things are coming from. Started with Cody's, which is the ones driving through the water here. And we do know that Sammy has Cody's name written on that book. Cody was somebody in the community that was had bad accusations against him. There was some petition going around about him, something to do with an essay. So that kind of gives you like a little bit of an outline of what these kids do and all that. But yeah, this is, to me, it could explain possibly what we're looking at in a way. Possibly. Again, I'm not saying that that's what's going on in the wildfire camera footage, but I'm saying if this is the type of thing that's going on with these kids, that they very well could have been doing these types of activities down by the lake. Is it possible Kiely's car got bumped? You know what I mean? The next thing I'm going to show you is the article from the 8th. And it describes Kiely's vehicle, and it says it didn't have any scratches or dents. Well, the underwater camera footage, as you can see on the screen there, has a little bit of scratches on it. So that's the back of her vehicle. Her family, her mom was in this article, and they came out saying like, nope, no scratches or dents. But we see some in the vehicle footage of it underwater from AWP. So you can see it near the left side there, some scratches. So was it? No, he's not an RSO, Rick Rogers. Not officially, I don't believe. It was an accusation from what we stumbled on. But either way, I'm concerned about the scratches on the vehicle and possibly what sort of prank or activity might have been taking place. It's just questionable in my opinion. And then in that same article on the 8th, we have Sammy Smith, and it says Smith cautions searchers to be cognizant of items like car bumpers and license plates that may be spotted on the side of the road. Should such an item be spotted, the location and other information should be texted to Sammy Smith at blah, 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 her number. So if we're going to kind of theorize about some sort of prank or something with these vehicles, then it's interesting that Sammy Smith from day one has made it evident that you need to come to her if you find a license plate or a bumper. And remember, do you guys remember this? There was like a bumper somebody found that was going around early on in the case at Prosser. Like somebody found a bumper, like a front bumper. Do you guys remember this? I just want to make sure I'm not like making up that somebody found a bumper there. Either way, it's unsettling. Well, the scratches Rick didn't happen from settling in the lake because it was upside down. But I guess anything's possible. But to strip paint off a vehicle like that, it must have been a significant type of scratch. You gotta love Sammy trying to round up the physical evidence while diverting only Kiely's sightings to the sheriff. Yeah, I mean, it's just wow. Yeah, exactly. It says, should Rodni or her vehicle be spotted, then contact the sheriff. But like, why is she collecting car bumpers and license plates? Like, it's just unbelievable. Yeah, Petunia, I remember that too. Sammy said something about look for a bumper. I don't know, guys. It's just, I feel like there's just still a lot of questions with this footage. I mean, we cannot 100% say we know what we're looking at. Like, you guys understand that, right? Like, yes, we see lights and then the light dims, but like, we don't know what we're looking at. And with these other vehicles and the activities that they're doing with the other vehicles, I'm just like, how do we know that that's not what's going on there? How do we know that the light doesn't disappear because it turns around? People think that it turns, so that's why the light disappears. I mean, we just cannot indefinitely look at this and be like, that this is Kiely's car going in Prosser Lake. Like, that's just my opinion. Especially with these other images out there. And notice, like I said before, this vehicle's windows are down. Even this Mustang, as they're doing the donuts and the burnouts, I mean, the windows are down. So we look at Kiely's vehicle with the windows being down, and, did somebody say like, oh, just get in and we'll do some donuts. It's just a senior prank. Because remember, here are the things that have always led me to think that this was they do some sort of hazing for the seniors or something there. Okay, so first thing we hear is Kiely initially did not want to go to this party. Remember that? The mother came out saying like she hadn't planned on going there. All right, here's another thing. Here is another thing. These kids are linked to Truckee also in this one video. And this is
You don't hear, girl. Shut the door. Get her in. Get her in.
So was this some sort of prank like that gone wrong? Put her in the trunk or ride with us while we do donuts in your car. I mean, stranger things have been done, I feel, with teens. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that Kiely felt like she had to go along with some sort of prank or hazing because she was a senior or whatever. So she didn't want to go to the party initially, the mother stated. She shows up with Mags, who ends up leaving. I question, that is unnerving, isn't it? Shoving her in the trunk. Again, those are kids that are associated with kids related to this case. Just from digging on their social medias and looking at their friends lists and all that, this is what people have uncovered. And yeah, it was a girl being shoved in the trunk.
You don't hear, girl. Shut the door. Shut it. Get her in. Get her in.
I agree. They're very strange, Connie. And remember, Sammy, like, I'm usually underwhelmed at parties, but this party, I was overwhelmed. It's like, what kind of stimulation do you need, Sammy? Because at parties, it's usually alcohol and like games, beer pong or whatever. It seems to be enough for most people, but not these kids. Either way, she didn't want to go. She arrived with Mags, who ends up leaving. Did Mags leave because Mags didn't want to be a part of some prank? Do you know what I mean? Like, I know Mags blamed it on these guys. or it is morning here. Good morning, harsh reality. I know you said good afternoon, but good morning here in New York. It's 8:50 a.m. It's good to have you in chat. So, Meg's leaving was always strange to me. And I know that people have all different theories. And, oh, she wanted to be with her boyfriend, so she left. And the only way to get with him was to meet him at the party. Like, that's a theory. It's a good theory, but there's absolutely no fact behind it. We actually don't know the real reason why Megs left. She claims it was people forcibly trying to make her take bong rips. I mean, that to me is BS as well. So I'm wondering, was there something that was taking place with some pranks or whatever? And Mags was like, I'm not going to be a part of this, or I'm not sticking around for this. I'm leaving. You know what I mean? I feel like that's another theory that could be possible when it comes to Mags leaving so soon, Then we have Jagger's text message to Kiely, which also has made me think, like, was this some sort of prank? And he was like telling her, like, don't do anything stupid. Like, remember he says he told her not to do anything stupid. Sorry, I'm still drinking my coffee and looking at chat. Yeah, they are out of control. And Meg's leaving is suspicious to Connie. I agree. Who was it that said later we all understand why Megs left after 10 minutes? I'm not sure. So, Jagger saying don't do anything stupid has always made me think it was some sort of plan, or prank or hazing. And then remember, the friends who reported seeing Kiely after midnight and around midnight said that Kiely wanted to go home. Did she want to go home because she just didn't want to do her hazing? You know what I mean? Like, was she like, oh, I don't want to do this type of thing. I just want to go home? Because remember, law enforcement came out and said shortly after midnight, Kiely was seen by friends stating that she wanted to go home. Was there some sort of prank or hazing that was getting lined up, and Kiely felt like she had to follow through with it? When did law enforcement say that? I missed that. She said law enforcement said Meg's leaving early makes sense if we knew what they know. SF said Megs had a really good reason to leave and he understood why, and it was personal. Oh boy. Here's the thing, guys. I need receipts. I need to see stuff like this. Like SF and other people saying this and that, like Elsa 2 story, like hiding your voice in your face. Like, come on. It's so hard for me to like take stuff like that serious. I'm sorry. Like it very well could be serious. But exactly. I feel the same way, Alicia. I take stuff from everything that everybody says, especially if they were there on the scene, but I'm not 100% on everything everyone's saying unless there's receipts and proof shown. So I don't know, guys, but either way, I'm just thinking more and more that this footage doesn't narrow down any possibility. The mass exit, I think about the fact that everyone said that they saw Kiely later and later in the night, remember? Elsa said midnight, then she said 12:30, and then Jane Doe 2, who allegedly is Elsa, which we don't even know 100%, but apparently it is, stated that it was later in the night. Then we have Jagger in the lodge stating that she was last seen at 1:30 at night. Well, if those are true, if all those eyewitness sightings are true, then this isn't Kiely driving into the lake, right? If the roadside assistance eyewitness account is true, then this isn't Kiely driving to the lake. It's just all these things I'm hung up on, of like the uncertainty in this case right now is driving me nuts. Oh my gosh. Sorry about the dinging. I need to like silence my group chat here on my computer. What do you guys think though? Like, I know you guys are still thinking it's foul play. I'm just curious, like, did the pictures that I shared of Cody's vehicles in the car and the burnouts and all that, did that kind of make it seem like it's a possibility that what we're looking at is some sort of just reckless off-roading type of behavior with the teens. You know, we do know that there was a mass exit. We don't know the depth perception. Like when people are saying there were other cars there, like I personally cannot indefinitely think that the other vehicles saw it. Like I can't tell because of depth and all that. Like, are the vehicles 50 feet away or are they 10 feet away? Yeah, I can play them again, sweetie pie, for sure. Let me just play the little video I made all over again with like the zoom in and all that. It's only like 5 minutes or so, but just feel like if law enforcement didn't find her, but they had this footage, it's just, there's just so many weird things going on here, you know, like would AWP really put out information that was just like leading to nowhere? Because I guess it wouldn't matter what the rest of Nick Roadside Assistant's interview was if this is Kiely's car going in the night prior. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a lot of things up in the air right now. And to accept the fact that law enforcement missed it, you know, in a boat, drones, helicopters, sonar, their own eyes on land. I mean, these are all things that we kind of have to accept and take into account as like fact. Like if this is Kiely's car, then all this other stuff is like crazy. It's just absolutely wild. Unless law enforcement saved the car for AWP to find a nice PR spin for the new diver. There's so many different theories and things people are thinking possibly. If this is if this SF had the video, the car would have been found immediately. And law enforcement too, right? Let me pour some more coffee while you guys tell me your thoughts. That new fire camera video didn't clarify anything for me. It doesn't sway me one way or the other. And you know what? I would say like that should be the way it is because we don't know what we're looking at. Like, hi, Mike. Good to see you. Good morning. Thank you. Tier to share is back. Thank God for your channel. This is exactly why I am coming here. Critical thinking, not suggestive thinking. Yeah, I'm not going to have a thumbnail that says, this is Kiely's car going in the lake. I mean, I can't 100% indefinitely say that, especially knowing that some of the kids that these kids associate with do crazy off-roading tricks and for fun and donuts and, you know, taking their SUVs into the water themselves with the windows down. I mean, I can't indefinitely say that that's not what's going on here then, you know? Opal says, I see blobs of light moving. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what we're looking at. I just cannot imagine AWP hyping something up that is nothing in a way. And because think about it, they were just on Dr. Phil too. I mean, I don't know, guys. I just feel like it would definitely be risky for them to put out this theory of they feel it was suspicious circumstances and then this actually be Kiely's car going in there. Okay, here are the images again of Cody, who is associated with these kids. His TikTok displaying some off-roading with SUVs. Here's another image associated with these kids at the party. Again, these images are just from social medias. They're public information. Anyone can find them. But I mean, that is definitely an SUV in a lot of water with the windows down. Petunia. AWP was on Dr. Phil. They talked about another case that they helped solve, and then they briefly discussed Kiely's case, but I don't think that they mentioned anything about suspiciousness, but I could be wrong. I only saw a small clip of it. But I will say, you know, it's just not going to be good if it comes out that this actually is Kiely's car and the AWP information was just not anything. AWP wouldn't give info unless they had facts. They are fact people, not hearsay. I agree, Mandy. I mean, that's exactly why I said, okay, weeks ago when they came out with their video about the roadside assistance guide, I said weeks ago, like, why would this channel, with the reputation they have, put out something that's just BS, So then I changed my timeline and, oh, you guys didn't see this for those who just joined? Yes, these are what the kids are up to. They drive into the water and they do donuts and burnouts with the windows down. Yeah, Connie, that's true. I mean, they have the pictures of the crime scene, which I was wondering, like, I wonder if Dr. Phil was like, can you show us the unedited, like, video? Like, I just wonder, like, did Dr. Phil try to get more information out of them, even though there's an investigation going on? I mean, everyone's curiosity in this is just, it's fair to question. But, like, why? Why would this be fun for people? Like, if I'm Megs and I see this going on, that definitely would make me want to leave a party early. Like, I'd be like, okay, I think I want to go. I'm not comfortable being here. Like, and I'm like, that's just how I am. I know some people are like, oh my gosh, let me get in on that. Not me. I'm very, like, cautious and.
Get in here, girl. Shut the door. Get her in.
And it's just a lesson for people. Like, everything you put out on social media is out there forever. Do you know? Yeah, I mean, I was just wondering, but who knows? I mean, I know that that Dr. Phil got more information from the Watts case from Shanann's family behind the scenes because he spoke about it on his podcast and then he removed the podcast. So I definitely think that Dr. Phil asks for more information on cases than what the public has been given. But it is a game. They're supposed to run across the circle before the car can donut. The driver is supposed to whip it and hit the person running. What the heck? Yeah, that the girl being put in the trunk, very problematic. I'm just, these kids, I don't know, guys. Petite vulture for sure. I agree. Too much money, freedom, excuses for bad behavior, etc. This is nuts. I'm from a rural town in Texas and we have nothing but hill country. We did stuff, but to this level, but not to this level. Exactly. And that's the other thing is like, I've been in vehicles that were off-roading in high school, like we've gone off the road, so accidents with vehicles can happen so easily. That's the thing. It's like these kids could be, I mean, was Kiely doing that run in the circle thing down by the lake, and she got hit? Like, it doesn't necessarily mean she was in the car. Somebody could have taken her car and been like, give me the wheel. You know what I mean? Like, I don't put it past other kids possibly driving her vehicle that night. Just looking at chat, guys. Yeah, I mean, the images with the kids definitely alarming for sure, in my opinion. But I just think ultimately it's a possibility that there was some sort of prank gone wrong. I think that the mass exit, I mean, even if the cars didn't witness it themselves, you know, were they around and, but not like there, and somebody came running up and said, get out of here, just leave, 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 something happened. You know what I mean? Like, have you just imagine a scene where a few people witness it, but not everybody. And then there's like a huge panic, and you just see, you're at a party hanging out, and you just see a whole bunch of kids like kind of hustling and bustling and like frantic. And then you're just kind of like drunk or whatever. And you're like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, was there like some sort of hustle bustle, like, oh crap, we got to get out of here? And then that's why there was a mass exit. Like, the other kids don't necessarily have to know exactly what happened for them to be a part of this mass exit. Do you know what I mean? Like, one kid could have frantically come back to the area where they were partying and been like, holy cow, we got to get out of here. Like, something happened. And then one kid sees another kid running, and then another kid sees another kid go to their car. You know what I mean? So it's like, I wonder if like the mass exit had to do with people kind of just being like freaked out for the moment. Like, okay, I think we got to get out of here. Rather than just saying every single one of them knew and they're not saying something. Like, I'm wondering if there was a level of people didn't know, but they did know that something took place, but they had to get out of there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it also didn't look like 300 people's cars. I agree that the number of people there is not really adding up to everything that we kind of have to look at. I've ran from parties because of commotion that I still didn't know what happened. Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. Like, was this some sort of something somebody said like, holy crap, we got to get out of here. And then everyone was like, oh, wow, something happened. We got to get out of here. But they don't know all the details. You know, they just know that something happened. People were freaking out, and they wanted to leave too. Exactly, JoJo. Video really may be her car driving into the water, but that doesn't mean it was her driving the car. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Craig G. Just scream cops and the stampede to leave is on. Yep. We ran from parties when the cops arrived. Yep, same. They left knowing something bad happened. Others probably said, enough of this crap, I'm gone, due to wilding by the wildest partiers. I agree. I definitely could see something like that. There definitely wasn't more than 30 cars there. Would have been huge amounts of lights on that camera. And that eyewitness that talked about the mass exit said, you know, they just seen all these lights, headlights going by. Right, CDT, judging by the sheriff in that area and his record or whatever he was being accused of, the Truckee cops probably party with the teens. They definitely looked the other way, which is just as bad as partying with them, because I'm sorry, but leave alcohol and drugs out of this. These kids are treating these vehicles like toys. Vehicles are not toys. Hot Wheels are vehicles that are toys, you know? So it really worries me that, you know, take alcohol and drugs out of the avenue or out of the equation. Even these kids being behind the wheel sober, they shouldn't be doing this, you know? And it's just, it comes down to who is responsible ultimately for what happened. If that's Kiely driving into the lake herself, like, I feel like that, I hate to say it, but it just comes back, it falls back on like her main guardian, whoever her main guardian was that allowed her to be out with her vehicle that late. I say that only because in that county, it's illegal for someone her age to have the vehicle out that late. And look, this is exactly why. They're not mature enough to handle these vehicles, let alone at nighttime. And then we add in alcohol and possible drug use. It's like they have literally no inhibitions. Too many Fast and Furious movies. Yeah. I love those movies, though. It just doesn't make sense that Kiely would be alone. I agree. And honestly, I don't even see her being the type to be like, okay, yeah, I'll go and do these donuts with you. Like, I just feel like she was smarter than that. But at the same time, we have seen videos of her off-roading, but off-roading doesn't mean that she's doing donuts. You know what I mean? I don't know, guys. Let me just start the video over as we finish up. These kids behave very irresponsibly, and the parents seem to think it's okay behavior. That's a real problem, in my opinion. I think so too. And I think that not only are the kids being irresponsible, but it seems like hi, open minds, it's good to see you. Seems like the adults in the area and law enforcement in the area are all doing like irresponsible, quote, bad behavior. Megan said our kids are tough. And that's the other thing, hi, Lisa, that I wanted to discuss a little bit. I've listened to very little of Megan. I know that people are really digging into her. I'd really like you guys to kind of like comment down below or whatever your thoughts on her. And actually, if chat could tell me right now your thoughts on her, like press 1 if you think it's legit, press 2 if you have questions, because I just cannot handle another avenue in this case that leaves me with more questions. Like, I need receipts. I need to know that it's valuable information and that it's worth spending time on. I'm seeing 2. Jojo doesn't think it's Kiely driving. So many questions. Everyone's saying 2. So it was 2 legit or not legit? I forgot which one I said. Oh, boy. Megan just seems to want Sammy off the hook. Oh, boy. Yeah, no, that's the thing is people are inserted in cases to, okay, 2 is BS. Got it. Thank you, Petunia. Have you read the document on their webpage, The Truckee Way? I think I did very early on, Brittany. It's been a while. Okay, thank you guys for your feedback. Yeah, do you know says there's no consequences for actions. Megan is meddling nosy Nelly. Is a meddling nosy Nelly. Okay, then I won't waste my time. And that's the thing, like I said earlier in the live stream, I did not plan on even going through this with you guys, or even going over this case until law enforcement makes a statement, because there is like a lot of hearsay and people who don't want to show their faces on panels and hiding their voices. Like, I'm sorry, but I need something more concrete. That's just the way I am. Oh no, open minds. I'm glad you found your glasses though. It really makes this whole community approach thing make a lot of sense. I'm just wondering if, maybe the parents are going to want this to be labeled as an accident. Although, I mean, they could still be held responsible for allowing her out. I mean, where did this alcohol come from? You see her headlights on the other side of the reservoir. When she goes in the water, the headlamp lights on the other side disappear at the same time. The timing is right. Not the best evidence, agree. So, Mike, are you under the impression that this solidifies it was an accident and Kiely was driving? Or are you under the impression that this could be her car, but there could still be foul play involved? When I see subcultures like these kids, they are weenies of the first order trying to compensate. Nothing is funnier than these weaklings trying to pass for tough. They try too hard. I definitely see them trying too hard. just crazy, guys. Maybe Kiely's mom wants people to stop talking about it because she gave her alcohol at the party. I mean, that's definitely something that's been thrown around as a possibility. Hi, Rebecca. It's good to see you. I thought no foul play ever on this case, just listening. Well, I'm glad you take part in our conversations. And that's great too, because I need all types of angles and thinkers here. Life insurance doubles if it's an accident. Why did they have life insurance on her? Is that true? How you say no accountability in cases of foul play. Not if it is my loved one. I don't get that mentality. I agree. The message needs to be know what your kids are doing at all the time. Exactly. I know it is intense. That's why I like skipped it this time. I'm like, I can't. I know, Vicky. It's so crazy. I mean, these are not toys. They're vehicles. Jeez. Okay, guys. I mean, that's all I had to share. Like, I just, the images of those TikToks with the kids, and the pranks and the hazing and all that they're possibly up to. I feel like, it's sort of emphasizes for me that, you know, there possibly could have been some sort of senior prank that Kiely was a part of. You know, was she put in the trunk by somebody like those other girls were pranking about? I don't know. I'm not convinced that she was driving. I'm not convinced that that's even what we're looking at. It could have been another vehicle doing donuts in the water. Message is to control your darn kids and be responsible adults. No one's not once at hunt for mushrooms and tree. I think maybe Megan's son or daughter was involved and Megan was called to help cover up. And has Megan shown an ID and all that, or is her name just Megan online? Like, is that her real name? And those TikToks from kids associated with Cody and Truckee. Yes. Yep. They are directly linked to kids that were at the party and Cody. You haven't seen her ID. That's the thing, is like, is this just her name online or is she like a real Truckee person? Again, I'm way on the outside and behind in all this. Just reading comments, guys. All right. I feel like that's pretty much it. That's all I had to share. You guys are more than welcome to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please give a little like on this video. She's a real Truckee person, but she's full of crap, Lena said. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, I really am under the impression that I'm not going to be commenting on the case until law enforcement does. But I mean, this was something that popped up. I had stuff in my files that maybe can corroborate what's going on, possibly what we're looking at. If it's, you know, off-roading or water driving like we see in these images, I don't know. Does this possibly mean that somebody else was driving her vehicle trying to do some prank here, you know, because she's got an all-wheel drive SUV, compact SUV, and then the water was deeper than they expected. I mean, an accident can happen, and kids have left the scenes of accidents before. I mean, that's the truth. Even adults have. So again, interesting footage. I feel like I'm leaving still with more questions than answers, and I can't 100% say that, yes, that's Kiely's car. Her phone pinging there, I mean, she could have been there. That's the thing, guys. Like, just because her phone pinged there doesn't mean that that's her car, or I mean that's her driving into it, I should say. It could be her car and her phone pinged there because she's in the back in the trunk. You know what I mean? Either way, I just wanted to share that stuff with you guys, and just to kind of keep your mind going, and just kind of think outside the box too. So I hope to see you guys in CDT's chat on her channel. What time is your live stream, CDT? If I missed comments or I don't comment, it's just the chat. I'm all over the place, like with my thoughts and my coffee here and all that. So if I didn't pull your comment up, please don't take it personal. I'm just all over the place. But we will talk very soon, guys. 11:45 CDT is going live about the Debbie Collier case. It's a very intense, complex case, but hopefully it gets wrapped up soon. It's a good discussion over there on CDT. So I will see you guys there in that chat. If you have seen the Dahmer Netflix series, I've got a Dahmer live stream that we went into a lot of details there. And then I have a Gabby Petito documentary in case you guys wanted to see that also. So lots of stuff that we're digging into with other cases, and we will always come here and discuss it together. So thank you again, guys, for being here with me, and I will talk to you very soon.